Did a video a while back, and someone put something on there about blexit, which is Republicans, black people leaving the Democratic Party. Let's go into it. What is the difference between black people who are fed up with the Democratic Party and leave with farmers and some of Trump's ideal base who are separating from him? What's the difference? First of all, I'm the first one to acknowledge that the Democratic Party doesn't really care about us. Clear period. I think that farmers represent America. They represent that image. When he spent all those billions of dollars helping out the farmer, I think it represented that more than anything. Let's go on here. Those people, those farmers, the commercials and interviews I've seen people speaking out against Trump and going into detail about how they don't like him, I think it proves the point that Trump was able to play the music at the right time to the right crowd. Whereas for black people, we never had nothing. You understand? So it's a different discussion. You know what I mean? Black people don't represent anything. We don't have any leadership. We don't have any money. More importantly, a large portion of the population does not care about this stuff. Okay? And some people I've been around, I'm not talking about criminals, they don't care about this kind of stuff. They don't get it. I think that on blexit could be one of those things that some elitists is behind. I mean, they like to make fun of the liberals and talking about George Soros putting money into a bunch of people. He's the only one. And it gets me because it really shows you how ignorant they are. We're trying to survive. And we're dealing with ecological devastation. We're dealing with billionaires and companies that make billions of dollars who have lock, stock, and barrel the government under control, under lobbyists and things like that. And we're just trying to get our voice heard, and we're just trying to speak out on certain things. That's all we're doing. Look at the Koch brothers. Look at how they do things on a regular basis with money. Look at Bloomberg, how he's able to spend all this money and not even get in any debates. Get the DNC to spin around in a circle and change its own rules in the midst of an election. In the midst of an election, change their rules. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the reality that I'm looking at. You know, like I said, these people that speak out against Trump and just realizing, even if Trump's paying you off, doesn't that then bring into question other things he's saying? I know rednecks aren't going to get what I'm saying, and that's fine. If I say to you, I'm going to give you a contract to come work for me, and a year goes by, no contract, and then I'm like, I'll give you some more money, that sounds like some shady business right there. That sounds like something that's not totally legit. So, but I don't know. I just feel as though, rednecks not going to be able to do that with them. I watched something today. I don't know why I watched it. It was a Klan guy, Nazi guy, in Ulysses, New York. It's just towards the top of New York. And he had Nazi flags in his house and stuff. And they were asking, he's like, well, I don't completely, playing games. He's almost like David, what's the guy's name? But he's just not smart enough. This playing with Nazism, playing with it, really manipulating things to where they kind of shade it a little bit. It's a little bit shady. It's a little nuanced. It's like, yeah, I agree with Hitler on some things. Yeah, maybe Hitler should have killed the Jews, You see what I'm saying? It's kind of shaded. And then he just blew up and started yelling at him, telling him to get off his... I love that because I worry that you give them too much legitimacy when you have so many discussions. And when he acts like that, that's what I know those guys to be. There is no legitimacy with them. There is none. There's legitimacy as long as they're winning the discussion. Period. And there's always the gun is present. The gun is always implied with them, pulling up their shirt and showing you their hole. So that's what they do. There's really no intellectual discussion with them any more than they're winning. If they're not winning, then look out. Because they're already there. They're beyond the point of trying to discuss things, reason things with us. They're beyond that, man. They're just at the point of just wholesale violence. Moving on. I thought it was really, really, really intriguing. People in his town were, like, that's wrong, and Trump plays into it. Of course he does. It's crazy because Colin Kaepernick kneeled on the field. He kneeled on the field. And people went crazy. White folks went crazy. And you've got people out here marching with Nazi banners in major cities in the United States. And nobody really cares. People marching on the street, talking about Jews want to take our jobs, with tiki torches and rifles and bulletproof vests and stuff. No one really cares. No big deal. And a black man, a mixed race man, kneels on the sideline of a football field, and we're crazy. People try to make it a big deal about how they're a business, have the right to do something else. That's not really what it was to me. It's that white people believe they should be in control of everything at all times. At all times. And so the idea of them not being in control of football makes them go crazy. See, we as black people have to deal with that all the time. People making little racist jokes. That happens all the time on the road. Making racist jokes, making comments, all the time. And guess what? Most black drivers will tell you, at some point or another, guess what? They kept on walking. Because guess what it was? It didn't stop them, and it wasn't directly sent to them. It was just something said. We deal with that all the time. That's a fact of life for the black man. If you're out here working, you're going to deal with that, especially in the South. White people, you see all this stuff about them calling police on us. You see all this business, what they're doing out here. I don't have to, go into too deep about, the things they do, because they're not in control. And the fact they're not in control makes them go crazy, man. Period. Period. That's what the Kaepernick thing was really about. Kaepernick showed them a side of America that they don't really care about. They just, like Professor Blacktrue said, they give us black celebrity. They give us black actors, black musicians, black entertainers. But that doesn't really say anything about black people. That's just entertaining the white man. Okay, he's got a Lamborghini. He's got this. He's a good boxer. It doesn't do anything for us. They give you that as to say, oh, things aren't really that bad for black people. That's the idea. Things ain't that bad. Because you got Jay-Z, right? Because Kobe had a helicopter, didn't he? So black people can't all be doing that bad because you've got a 5% of the population, a 10% of the population is riding a Bentley, or on a Jaguar, or maybe they go overseas and you got all these pictures you see on TMZ. It means nothing. Nothing at all. It doesn't even mean they care about us. Very simple. Moving on. I just leave it there. I went off subject there, but I just really feel like that's what Kaepernick did. He showed them the dark side of what America has been for black people, for brown people. When was America great for us? It never was. I think that white America expects black people to just bow down and get in line and see what white supremacy, with them always pushing an agenda. The idea of any black person who's got money stepping out of line makes the Caucasian go crazy. I heard one of them actually say that. Well, I made $10 million, so he made $10 million, so he's really oppressed, right? That means nothing. How many videos we have over here of the black football player, I think it was in Dallas, was trying to see his mom in the hospital. She was sick. He's outside, the cop stopped him outside the hospital. He's like, officers, and the cop did what I'm used to, just completely ignores him, and he's like, okay, why were you doing it again? And he tells him again. Okay, why are you doing it? That's what cops do. Not listening to you, not even pretending to listen to you, just really disrespect. They're not listening. But it's not disrespect to me. I don't take disrespect because You're the reason why I'm stopped. See what I'm saying? You stopped me. It sounds like you're getting off the ability. It sounds like you're getting off on the ability to stop me. You know with your authority you have to stop. You can't stop me, and I have to obey you, and I have to answer your questions. I have to cooperate with your investigation, or I'll face legal ramifications. And you do that, but you don't really care about what I'm saying to you. You're not really listening. You're not. But moving on. I think the sisters they were trying to tell him like he's really there for his mom. Cop didn't want to listen to him. I think nurses came out that they told him he still didn't want to listen to him. I heard a cop. This is a black woman that was a nurse in a nurse's outfit, and a female deputy came out there and just stopped and was watching her. I think stopped her or something, and she showed her credentials. Cops still didn't care. You know, plenty of stories like that. They don't respect us. Respect us whatsoever. You know, they don't respect us. And so Captain, like I said, him making him $10 million or whatever he made, that's completely irrelevant because they don't respect you regardless of your position or platform. It doesn't matter. That's the point. That was the point of Obama, that they don't respect us. Period. So if they don't respect us, why should we respect them? Didn't nobody give him his football chances. He worked hard to get there in the NFL. Nobody just, okay, no, dude. You get hurt, and then you got to deal with it. Sometimes you get injured. Your injury don't heal right. Then you got to do things off postseason. Some injuries don't completely heal. Yeah, man. Kaepernick, he's a hero for us. He's a hero. He's only hated by people who really want to ignore that the things that King talked about really haven't been addressed. You know, America being the greatest purveyor of violence upon the world. King talking about how I cannot talk about violence in the city when I'm talking about dealing with the greatest forest purveyor of violence in the world. King talking about poverty. These things have not been addressed. And they want to make it about, oh, I had a dream, and whitewashing it. I actually remember when I was younger reading about it. And like the picture, whatever I was looking at, like the background of the thing was white. I actually remember that. It's just this childlike, beautiful version of it. Whitewashes legacy, while at the same time, if you want to protest, the only way to do it is to be nonviolent, because that's what King did. You know what I'm saying? I think the King thing is a lesson that when you deal with the white supremacists, you can't be nonviolent. Not all the time. You can be sometimes. You should be sometimes, to grow your movement, but that nonviolence is not the only way, and that civil disobedience is something that's necessary. Pacifism doesn't mean not carrying a gun. Pacifism does not mean not having guns. Pacifism does not mean that you're not willing to take up a rifle and defend that barrier, defend that roadblock out there. That's not what pacifism means. And they've perverted this stuff. They perverted the meaning, they perverted the meanings, and they perverted the ideas. You know, you're dealing with a system that's engaging in greater and greater violence on a regular basis, overseas and here. And we're all watching it. Peace out.